After I wrapped up an assignment in northern Vietnam, I decided that I really wanted to try to find where my uncle had been badly wounded during the Vietnam War in the late 60s. He had fought in this area called Dao Tien, which in 1968-69 was the Fallujah of the Vietnam War. That is, it was the hottest part of the war. And my uncle, who had been a Wolfhound in the Infantry, had been crossing a series of forests and then fields when the Viet Cong, the North Vietnamese militia fighters, started firing off a series of mines and shooting, and my uncle was right there when one of these mines went off. Initially, one leg was almost completely blown off and the other leg was also very, very damaged. And when he got himself a little bit together, he lifted up and he was shot 3 times in the shoulder and then played dead as the Viet Cong went around shooting anyone that they saw was still alive. This event had always fascinated me because my uncle is one of my heroes and always has been. Right before I was getting ready to leave, I contacted him and I said, "Uncle Rick, I'm going to be going to Vietnam in just under a week. I want to see if I can make it to where you were injured." And he said, "Well, all right, let's see what we can do." And so he reached out to people and I reached out to people, and I ended up meeting a Vietnamese man that gives tours specifically to American GIs that want to return to the battlefield to experience again where they had fought and to show their families. And this gentleman led me to an American who had fought in the same division as my uncle in that same area at that same time period, and that gentleman was able to locate maps and to help us pinpoint within about 100 yards or so exactly where my uncle had been blown up. I really wanted to know what it was like to be in those rice fields, to experience it as a soldier. I chose to photograph a lot of the locations that my uncle spent time, including the location where he was actually injured, from the perspective of a GI, and that perspective is face down in the muck.